y'all? It's Lex. I am back with another video. But today's video, listen, is very, very important. I think all women need to hear this. I've recorded this video at least 40 times. I've recorded it so many times and I just did not post it. So guess what? Today is my last time recording this because y'all need to hear it. Okay, so listen, today I am talking about fibroids. Yes, fibroids. You know, I had surgery in 2017, December of 2017, and I went through so much with these damn fibroids that, you know what? I went to an event 2 months ago, and it really made me think back and go, wow, I really, really, really need to share this with y'all because there's so many people suffering in silence and they wallow into depression and suicidal. You don't know. Like, it's so many women. So, like, when I went to that convention, right, it really made me see that there are other women struggling and somehow, some way, or that have struggled. It made me feel like I wasn't alone for the first time in my existence of knowing I had fibroids, right? So today's video is basically me telling y'all about what happened when I first found out, my symptoms, what I've been doing, what changed, what happened, everything from beginning to end, okay? So, okay. So at the very beginning of 2017, I went to my gynecologist and there was nothing wrong. I just went for a normal checkup and he goes, you have fibroids. Like, he did like the little hand test thing and was like, you have fibroids. Let's go get you. I think you have fibroids. So let's go get you an ultrasound. So I did like a transvaginal ultrasound and all that stuff and came back and he said that I had fibroids. So I was just like in utter shock. And he was like, they're not cancerous or nothing like that. And but if you want to have kids, you need to have surgery now. If you want to have kids, you need to have surgery like immediately. Like, so like he scared me to death. And I was just so confused because I was just like, what? I'm 21 years old. Um, I'm 21 years old. I'm in great shape. I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. And I felt like the world just hit me. Like, I just felt like I was going to die. It was just like the way he explained it to me, it was just, he just made me feel hopeless and helpless. And I remember telling my family and like friends, some friends, I think I told like maybe 2 friends, and everybody said the same thing. They felt bad for me. And feeling bad for somebody means like you feel like pity or pitiful for them or like, you know what I'm saying? So like everybody just kept telling me they just felt bad for me. And I was just like, I just don't understand what is happening like in my life. And again, I was working out, I was eating fairly healthy, but I'm 21, so I can go out drinking with my friends and go eat fried food and go work it off and go run it off. Because I used to run every day after work. I used to hate my job, so I used to run, I used to lift weights, I used to do Zumba, I used to do so much physical activity, and I'm a chef. So I was doing so much, and my body was just like snatched, hunty. So he was like, you can gain weight. Sometimes the fibroids are as big as a grapefruit and this, that, and the third. I mean, just everything he said, it was just so ugh. And so I'm like, in my head, all I computed was, so I'm going to gain weight, even though I'm working hard in the gym every day. I work a lot, I do all this, and I still try to maintain my weight and eat healthy and do just better. So in my head, I go, okay, all right, well, I'm not going to the gym. I'm not going to work out because there's no point, because you just told me I'm going to gain weight. And there's no point in me eating healthy because I don't want to do it anyway. So those habits that I picked up within that, I'm just going to say 11-month span. By the end of the year, I gained 100 pounds. By the time I got to my surgery, it was a wrap for me. Like, I gained so much weight. I was just like, and again, I didn't even realize I gained weight until somebody said something to me. And then I looked at him like, cause people, my mom kept telling me, she kept calling me, like, you need to lose weight, you need to lose weight. I'm like, girl, you're being a fucking hater. Fuck out of here. I didn't want to hear it because I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? I don't see it. And one day, I honestly woke up and said, oh shit, bitch, I gained 100 pounds. Uh, now y'all some fake ass friends. Like, now I'm mad at everybody because I'm like, what? I'm finally seeing it. It's like the day I just like woke up. And I'm fast forwarding, but that was like the one thing with my weight. It was like a drastic change from like the beginning of the year. I'm thriving, looking great. By the end of the year, I'm mentally checked out. I'm depressed. I'm just out of it. Like everything started, just my whole world just came crashing down. And so when I had surgery, because I'm going bouncing around a little bit. So listen, so we scheduled a surgery for like July. Then we scheduled it for September. Then we scheduled it for December. And I kept pushing it back and he kept forcing it and forcing it and forcing it and forcing it. And I'm just like, I mean, obviously I could have just said no, but I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I looking up online, I'm like not seeing anything on fibroids. Now I'm in an even more panic. I'm thinking I'm literally about to die. So like my depression just, I mean, it was crazy. And that's like, it's hard trying to research something and you don't find nothing. Now you feel like you can never heal or you could just, it was this weird, just crazy emotion that I felt. I felt hopeless, helpless, like everything. And um so I go to have surgery and he's like, okay, well, I think we can get them through your stomach. So I'm going to go through your belly button and do it laparoscopically. And I'm like, okay, well, that's amazing. Okay, good. That means I don't have to have the C-section scar. And then he's like, well, if we don't get it that way, that means we got to give you a C-section. So, but he was like almost assuring me that I was going to have the laparoscopic way through my belly button, so I wasn't going to have to go through all that crazy stuff with the C-section scar. So I wake up from surgery. Mine just my first surgery too. So like, I swear, the more you think about things that you don't like or don't want, the more they run to you. I've always been scared of having surgery, but I have surgery. And I am scared. And I wake up from surgery and I just like feel my bottom half and I'm like, why is all this patching like I'm like in disbelief and I'm drugged up and I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm crying, and I'm just like, yo. So now I'm like seeing, like when they took it off, I was like, yo, he went through my belly button and gave me a C-section. And it was like the most bizarre feeling. Like I just felt so, I felt dead. That's the only word I could tell you. I felt dead. Like I felt, uh, mm, I felt, I don't know, worthless. I don't even know the word to say because I just turned 22 years old and I'm like, I have a C-section scar. I don't have any kids. So now I'm like insecure about that. I'm just worried, like, I'm a keloid prone person. Like, what is going to happen to my body? Because before this, that my body wasn't that. And God, I'm getting emotional because it was so much to process at such a young age. And I was practically by myself going through everything. Whew. I'm going to try not to cry again. I'm back. Um, so I have friends that were, again, I'm like a really private person. Like I've opened up so much more now than I ever have in my life. So like I'm going through these things practically in silence. And I had friends that knew and they were trying to emotionally be there for me, but I was just shutting everybody out. So like I could easily blame the world and blame everybody for not being there for me, but I really like shut down. I shut down and I just didn't know what to do. Like, so much happened to me at once, and I was scared, and uh ooh, I was scared. I was just having to accept a new me. That still, that one thing still bothers me to this day. You know, and for a very, very, very long time, I could not talk about this surgery. It felt like death when people tried to talk to me about it. It just felt so much like I just felt so much pain because, you know, it was so much stuff going on, and like I felt so empty and alone in that time. And knowing what I know now, like there's so many avenues, y'all, it's tears on my shirt. It's so many other avenues to healing fibroids and getting through it, and just like that alone, I was beating myself up about like, oh my God, like if you'd have just tried to do this or do that, whatever, you know, maybe you would have found something else. And you know, I got pressured into surgery, and like there was just no other way for me. And seeing that there's holistic approaches, there's non-invasive approaches, like that convention I went to was like the vein clinics or something like that, and they go through your veins and shrink your fibroids. Like it's so much stuff for you to do besides getting cut open and people getting hysterectomies and that. And then my doctor, he did my surgery and then retired. He did my surgery, retired. So I'm telling y'all, he retired a week after. So like literally, he had surgeries all week. He was just finishing up, getting his last couple coins, baby, and then he closed his shop. And I was like, wow, like that made me feel even worse. And I knew that I was getting preyed on because you just mysteriously just retired. Like he never said anything. He just mysteriously retired after doing all these surgeries, and he was on my back about having surgery. So he was trying to hit this quota. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I felt resentment about that and anger, like just being preyed on. But so I had the surgery, you know, in between that time of me finding out and me having surgery, people were mistaking me as pregnant, and a lot of people were making fun of my weight, like family, everybody, just people just, I felt like shit, and I got back externally that like my weight was being made fun of all the time. My stomach was poked out. I had abdominal pain. I had the heaviest periods I ever seen. Um, the frequent urination, like I always had to use the bathroom. And mind you, I work in the kitchen, so I'm bending, twisting, turning, I'm doing all this stuff, and I got this going on, and I had the most strenuous job you could ever think of. And, you know, y'all, it seems like I feel like I'm all over the place. But, okay, y'all. So, after my surgery, um, after my surgery, I immediately kind of had to go back to work, and I was not supposed to, but I had to because I paid my own bills, and I ironically had gotten injured around the time, like right before my surgery. I was injured at work. I sprained my shoulder and my wrist. So I was like literally just out of commission as a whole. And I took off 30 days. I think I was supposed to not work or do anything strenuous for at least 3 months or something like that. But I jumped back into work. I had no choice. I got like 3 jobs. And I told them, but they kind of didn't care. Because, you know, there's like, I mean, the people were helping me, and they were really like, they were very, very, very like helpful. But, you know, after a while, motherfuckers get tired. They like, fuck, why did she sign up for a job that clearly says in her job description she can't lift 50, you gotta lift 50 to 100 pounds? So, like, I did very low type stuff, like, for a while, but some stuff was a little strenuous. But honestly, I didn't have really a choice. I had to just pull through any way I knew how. And at this point, I'm still mentally checked out. I'm really not even checking in with myself about this surgery. I'm not, it's like I kind of swept it under the rug. Like, I had the surgery. I was just angry, sad, depressed, whatever. I was just all these emotions, and I swept it under the rug, and I just never thought about it again. Every time I thought about it, I cried, and I just like swept it back under the rug. And I didn't realize how strong of an effect that it had on me until I started trying to date and try to see myself again, because I started picking up these issues with my body image. Like, I already struggled a bit with it, but before that, I was really seeing myself. And then after surgery, I started viewing myself as broken and damaged and hurt and just like very like just broken, it's for to say the least. Like, I was scared for people to touch me. I was scared of like a relationship. I was scared of like it like started fostering new fears. Like, with my sex life, it was just everything. Like, I'm scared to like, what if people see my C-section scar and people think I have a baby? And I mean, like, literally, it unlocked a new level of fears I never knew I had. And I still struggle with those things today, because that was the scar, but like the body image, like just things like your body changed. Something is different. And I swept a lot of things under the rug, and I like should have went to like therapy for it or something like that. But like, the more and more I realize, like, there's things have on my body have changed, and it's okay to feel what I feel, but I gotta heal through it. So like, it wasn't just a walk in the park of you get the surgery and you come out someone different. You're scared to be touched. You feel fragile. You feel uneasy. You just feel different. I don't even know how to explain it, but you feel different. And to this day, I got this surgery at 22. I am 26 now, and I'm still struggling. And, a lot, and I noticed, like, starting to see this now, people need to hear this. Young women need to hear this and see this and start finding herbal solutions and other routes and other women that are going through these things, so they don't feel alone. I felt so alone. And if I'd have sought out maybe a community of women or doctors, holistic healing, and all these other things that could have helped me on my journey, that maybe I wouldn't have spiraled so deep into depression. So I hope that that's something that you learn from me. Go get help. Go search the internet until you can't no more about herbs that help with fibroids, and how you need to change your eating habits and how you need to do these things, because I didn't do any of those. So please go do it. If you are struggling with fibroids, go get some chase tree. Go get some red raspberry leaf tea, because those cramps, I don't know, everybody's symptoms are different. I had horrific cramps. I had the worst abdominal pain. I just had all of these like extreme symptoms. And I think a lot of stuff was also my psyche. Like, if somebody keeps telling you you're going to feel this, you're going to feel this, you're anticipating it now. Because I swear I didn't feel anything until he told me. So I just buried it deep into my psyche. Now I'm feeling like all of this. And it was a lot. But one thing I really want to reiterate and keep pushing is to go get help. Go find communities. Go find holistic healing. Start getting herb books. Start looking up things that can help you through this phase, because surgery is not your only option. You don't have to suffer by yourself. And two, like, take care of yourself, because that was like a life lesson for me, because I was young and I was eating healthy and I looked great. But I straight up fell out of alignment completely. And the trajectory of my life changed. Everything changed. And now I've changed my eating habits so much. Like, I'm telling y'all, something like clicked in my head, and I said I was done and I was over it. I was done with swollen feet, feeling just heavy. I was overweight. I didn't feel like myself. And I said, I have to do something about that, because no one else can help me. I have to, how you can keep trying to push somebody to do something, but at the end of the day, they got to come do it, and they got to be ready to do it. So that was one of those things for me. The weight loss and everything, and the willingness to change and switch, it just hit me. And I really, really, really push fitness, wellness, and eating healthy, eating better, because that that is how we stay healthy. That is how we stay whole and mentally balanced. If you eating junk food all day, you're gonna feel like trash. You know what I'm saying? My body feels lighter. I feel so much better. I even really honestly gave up chicken because they were saying, like, in studies I see that chicken has hormones in it, and hormones and all that extra estrogen and progesterone and all these things in your body. I was like, I will give up anything if it helps me. So that was one of the sacrifices I made. Like, over the last year, I stopped eating chicken. Salmon is my new chicken. Like, trying to get not farm raised, to get wild caught fishes and everything like that. I really tried to make the change with my health. So health and wellness and fitness and working out, whatever it is, whatever phase you are with these fibroids, whatever, I want you to honestly get help. I want you to go get a therapist, a mentor, somebody. And I want you to start looking at how you eat now and how you could possibly clean it up. And look at your fitness regimen. If you don't work out at all, start with walking. Start with walking. Start doing something. Don't just leave yourself high and dry like that. Don't leave yourself high and dry like that. So, honestly, my story goes a ways, and it goes deep, deep, and deep. I've had a crazy experience with fibroids, and I still struggle to this day with body image a lot of times, and just accepting that even though this happened to me, it's not tragic. You can change the narrative in your head. So that's something I go through and I struggle with, but I still fight. And I look back and I can honestly say I'm so proud of myself for pulling myself out of that depression and the community that supported me through this hard time in my life, because I found peace in the gym. I found peace in these things, and I started finding myself after I completely fell apart and started dancing and started hula hooping and started doing my makeup again and started doing my hair and feeling social again, because I wasn't lacking confidence. I wasn't lacking confidence, and I wasn't judging my body so harshly before this surgery. Now it's like a whole new lens. So another thing is to be kind to yourself. I have to tell myself that every day because I am my worst critic. So be kind to yourself through this whole thing with your stomach poking. I'm so hard on myself because my stomach still pokes. Because I woke up, and that's another thing. I woke up from surgery and they told me they didn't even get everything. So I was just like, bruh, like, y'all gonna keep shooting me down, right? Okay. Now I'm even like, God, again. Like, y'all wake me up, y'all cut me open twice, and you didn't even get everything? How the fuck does that make sense? How does that make sense to me? I'm just like completely defeated. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm in a phase in my life where I have to prioritize my health, my mental health, my physical health, everything, my emotional health. I have to prioritize me. That means creating healthy habits in the morning, whether I go wake up and drink my B12, my chlorophyll, and I take all my vitamins and my probiotics and drink water when I wake up, drink water all throughout the day, whether that means cutting out fried food, whether that means making healthier choices overall and putting exercise as a number one thing in my life. That's what you got to do. I can go on and on about my story, y'all, but if y'all want to hear more, I would love to share it. I would love to share it. I would love to share some tips on how to manage fibroids and things like that. Again, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I could tell you some things that have helped me, because again, honestly, I feel like I'm restarting my journey all over again, because sometimes when we put our health on the back burner, you might get a knock at the door and get a reminder some way, somehow. And I'm getting a reminder again that I really need to prioritize my feminine health, my overall health. So my womb health, like with herbs and things like that, and just yoga, all these things. So again, I share this about my life, and y'all know I am a private person. I am a private person. I don't like sharing my business. But I feel called to because there's some young woman out here that needs to hear these things, that needs to hear this, that needs that motivation to go get some help, that needs the motivation to go get in the gym, that needs the motivation to go eat better. And she's going through things and she's not telling nobody, or she's going through things and just feels just completely alone, whether people are around or not. This is your sign to go get help, whatever way. Go love on yourself a little bit harder. So I've learned, I've learned that was the hardest time of my life. And I've beaten myself up about it time and time again. But now is my time to reach back out for my women that need this help, that need support, that need people to constantly remind them and push them to go be better for themselves. Because if you're not a good you, how can you be a good you for everybody else? You got to take care of you first. And that's a constant reminder that I need to remind for myself. So I hope y'all enjoy this video. I would love to continue this series with fibroids and everything that I've learned through my journey, and like self-image, self-confidence, body image, because again, we're all human. Nobody is perfect. So of course I feel down. Sometimes I judge myself a little too harshly. I'm human and I'm really trying to heal and find ways to love myself. And I mean purely from the deepest, purest part of my heart. So you are not alone through this. Like, you're not alone. We all go through it. A lot of people may hide it, but I'm telling you the truth. You know, I'm fine as a motherfucker, but I still go through my little phases. So I hope this video helps y'all. I love y'all. Thank you for subscribing. Tag a friend. Drop some stories below if you have fibroids, cysts, endometriosis, whatever it is, share it with me. Like, it really warms my heart and it really makes me happy to feel like I'm not alone, you know? It really does. It makes me feel good. Not that everybody else is struggling and having these issues too. It's the fact that people can come together and console each other and talk each other through these things and push them to getting more knowledge and getting help and eating better and being better. So I love y'all. See you.